Manglehorn, lock and key.
Oh, kid locked in a filthy car. How you doing there?
He looks happy. Dear Clara, how I missed you. You know, not a day goes by where I don't miss you deeply. Never have I felt more alive than when you looked at me. I got real pain in my heart.
This is Coach Maggie basketball, all-sport coach.
Need some money? I'll give you a loan if you need one. Just
No, I don't need your money. I just came to see my son, you know. Oh, Fanny, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you last night. I had to get in my boat. I got a boat with Fanny. Get on the ocean and just disappear.
What would I do without my friend around? You know, I'd be sad on Fridays.
I think Manglehorn was there actually this year.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I was like at there, and then was that there or like the Montclair because it happened.
It was there too. I went to Montclair. Yeah.
You were there, right?
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
I tried to get over there for your for that.
Dude, it was a spellbinding Q&A.
Did Holly go?
She didn't. I can't remember why she couldn't go at the last minute.
Well, you know the thing about that. I mentioned I have a kid, and he goes to the same school as her kids. So
Oh, really?
I see Holly Hunter like all the time.
Nice.
And she came up to me the other day, and started chatting, and I was. I don't think I booked this quite yet, because I would have sort of said something about it. But I keep resisting the urge to say, you want to come on my podcast, because I figure I should try to become good friends.
She's amazing.
She is amazing. That's the thing. Raising Arizona was like changed my life.
I know that movie by heart. Yeah,
it's my favorite movie. It's like, I have such great memories of seeing it.
I saw that movie 100 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's probably the best Coen Brothers movie, I think.
It's up there. I mean, certainly as far as like just
pure
your
fun.
Friend, of course, your good buddies in it, right? Nick Cage.
Oh yeah,
and
Unleashed.
Yeah.
But the best lines in that movie are like Les Round is funny. The little side characters in that movie are priceless.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while, so you're probably better quoting lines. But I just love the way she said his name. Hi, she just loved it. Oh, with dip test, do we get the dip test?
Get the dip test.
She was so great. So I would love to, but I'm definitely feeling like careful about it because I don't want to blow it up. Like if she says she's put off by it. I know somebody who was like an actress, and she said she was like she's not a star or anything like that, but she said she was on the set with Holly Hunter, and they became very friendly. Of course, because she's so sweet and so nice. And then at the end, she asked for some reason. She said, I don't know why, but I felt compelled to ask for her autograph, and I could just see the switch go off.
Oh man.
Like, why would you do
that? I guess you got to be careful of that.
So that's kind of the thing. It's not because I heard that anecdote about her specifically, but I kind of think about like if your relationship is based in this way, maybe you got to be real careful. But I'll say, I'll feel her out, and I'll say David said you should do this.
Yes.
He's endorsing it. So
exactly. Choose me and blame me when she punches you in the face.
I would love that. Give me a black eye, right? Can you imagine? Holly Hunter gave me this. How do I?
She had a punch, man. She's smart.
Yeah, she's great in Smooth Transitions. She's great in Manglehorn, by the way. Mm-hmm. Very moving performance.
Yeah, she's awesome in it. She was really fun to work with, and working with it was just amazing to have these two. Two of my idols in the acting world, and being able to sculpt something for them to go toe to toe and have scenes that aren't so busy that they can't just sit there and listen to these two characters talk in a either civilized or uncivilized manner.
I don't know if you recall it all because you do so many probably interviews, but the last time I met you, you were just a Joe, I guess. No, it was actually maybe what I don't remember exactly, but all I do remember is you said you were about to show Manglehorn. I said, "What? What's that?" Because I was a step behind, you know. Now I'm catching up a little bit better, but I was just a little step behind. So you were just mentioning, I said, Manglehorn, what's that? Because it sounds like such an incredible name. And he said, it's just a movie I just finished with Al Pacino. And I'm like, what? And I was like, you saved that? You buried the lead, but we had to talk about Joe, which is incredible. You went from these two incredible actors that I don't want to insult them in the least bit because both have earned such, esteem in terms of the performances, but they've kind of also known to overact at times, and both are very restrained performances. What do people make of Al Pacino in this movie? Because you warned me, and it was like one of the stranger things I've seen him in, but I loved every minute of it.
Well, that's great. That's great to hear. To me, it was engineered for Al, and it's scripted in many ways as a love letter to him and to his, even reflected in the art direction. You'll see there's a bank, and we've got little echoes of the bank in Dog Day Afternoon, or you'll see, a line may pop up that may be a little bit familiar without being exact plagiarism, or a sentiment may be reflected from somewhere, set dressing. So just being very fluent in the films of Pacino, it was cool to be able to try to steer him in a direction that he's never been in before, and that's really challenging because he's been in a number of movies. But this one in particular was trying to channel some of his earlier 70s movies, Scarecrow, Panic in Needle Park, Godfather, that I think were more defined by the restraint of a character rather than necessarily the bravado. Right. When there may have been more of a vulnerability in his performance because he hadn't developed into Al Pacino yet. Exactly. And this is a love story in a lot of ways, and I wanted it to play like this is almost an 11-year-old. So anything in our efforts of our dialogue and constructing this character was referring to the youth, really, and really putting him in that innocent, naive place, but with the eyes and body of a 75-year-old man. So trying to juxtapose some naive qualities within the cynical qualities, or things of beauty within things that were very ugly, or things that are very melancholy with things that are magical. Right. Oh, yeah. Well, it was had to be a very precarious line because, as you said, he's been making films for like over 40 years, and you want to keep him a little off kilter, if possible, on some level. Did you? Yeah, absolutely. Did he want that? What was your chemistry like? I mean, did he want that from you? Yeah, and I think some of it was challenging. It was like we'd go from a scene where we just nailed it, and like we just feel the electricity between Pacino and Chris Messina, who plays the son, and we just feel really confident. And the next thing I'd say, Al, you got to get up in that tree with a cat and just sit up in that tree branch, and which is nerve-wracking to be higher than you could actually climb in a tree with a cat. You've got the responsibility of not falling and a cat and acting. Yeah, like you're not afraid of falling potentially, or maybe he was afraid, so you had to act like he wasn't afraid. Yeah. As a character who was afraid. Yes, exactly. You know what I mean? So, yeah, there is that, isn't there? So I do like a little agitation. I like to find out where our comfort levels are and maybe explore crossing them. And all the time having a great sense of humor. And it was just such a lighthearted set in a lot of ways with the crew being so close. And, we've been making movies for 15 years together now. And having new wild cards like Holly Hunter or Harmony Korine just there to entertain us. Yeah. And make sure that nothing ever really got too dramatic. It was fun to be able to have a really seemingly serious work environment, but a lot of laughs and a lot of late night dinners and drinks. Mm-hmm. Was Pacino there for a lot of those? It would be literally in the middle of a rough scene. He's like, I got the energy to get through the scene, but we're going to need to go out and have some fun tonight. Oh, yeah. That must have been music. Well, because music to your ears. He really invests himself in these characters, and it can be really draining, as I can only imagine. I mean, seeing the best of these guys that really do transition into other people's bodies in a lack of a more eloquent way to say it, and it's exhausting and it's frustrating, and to do it to the level of of reality that these guys do, Pacino, even Holly, and Nick Cage in the last movie. I just really respect it. And when they say, "Hey man, I need to cut loose because I can't live like this," it's good to do it. Yeah. But the material has to be there too, because they want to transform, or they're willing to. But the material has to be there for them to be able to kind of do it. The script has to be there, and the direction. Yeah, I think that's how you invite them to the party. It's like you have something to offer them that they haven't done ever or in a long time, or something that they feel like would be a breath of fresh air in their process. Mm-hmm. I do have a really playful process, and I don't have this kind of steadfast, hard-hitting way, that vision that needs to be, storyboarded and blocked out and memorized in line readings and things like that. I invite guys like Al to come and participate and collaborate and shake it up, and let's, try this way, and then that didn't work, let's do this over here, or let's cut all the dialogue out and, do it while we're dancing.
Is Holly Hunter from North Carolina?
She's not.
Or is she from Georgia? She's from one of those states, right? Isn't she?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I was going to say Mississippi, Georgia, somewhere in there.
Deep South, though.
Yeah.
So did you guys have the connection there a little bit, or?
Yeah, she's got a beautiful accent. I got to say that.
Yeah, I know.
And yeah,
now it's in Brooklyn.
Yeah, she's been up here certainly for a long time, and very prominent in the theater world, and incredible range, and just an actress I've always really admired, and anything from The Piano to Raising Arizona to broadcast news, these just real standout roles that she's had that show a diversity and in a light and a humanity, which is what made her perfect for this. Is the contrast. If Pacino's character is kind of this monochromatic gray, black, brown kind of heavy fabric character, she's somebody that's not afraid of turquoise and peach.
Mm-hmm. Did they admit to watching some of your early work, or was that part of their due diligence?
I told them never to see my work and never to talk to my mom about who I was as a kid. Those are my two rules. No, I don't. You don't know? I know Pacino had seen Prince Avalanche because he would make jokes about it, which I thought was funny. And Holly, I don't know. I don't really get into that too much. You try not to be such a suck up that I start asking them about too much. Although with Pacino, I wanted to hear a lot of Marlon Brando stories, and so
oh my God,
it's amazing hearing him talk about the vulnerability he had the first time going to meet Brando on the set of The Godfather and things like that. So just I'm a sucker for a good 70s Hollywood story.
Oh my gosh. To be a fly on the wall, right, man? Well, I kind of feel that way with you. Like, I don't want to dwell too much on, asking you Al Pacino stories, but by sort of I have to I don't think Pacino is going to necessarily do this show, although, I'm not going to, who knows. But, so I'm really kind of, curious, and there's not tons of time, but I needed to get if you have one Brando story that, I don't know if you can remember that. Not to put you on the spot at all. It's
in
more.
In a weird way, it's like the beauty of my job is I get to be part-time psychologist, part-time storyteller, part-time, just, get in there and see what's going on in their brains, and having him talk about, what was it? Brando was eating beef stroganoff with his bare hands, and like that's just awesome to imagine. Just licking his fingers and wiping it on the bed sheets, and just like I like to picture stuff like that, and just the salty, funny, like strange world of the '70s, which is the most incredible decade of American cinema that there will ever be.
And those days are like nobody's doing that. Everybody's so cautious and.
Yeah, looking. Everybody, you got to choose your battles and find your outlets and platforms for where you want to get weird.
Find your own beef stroganoff or whatever.
Exactly.
Harmony Korine, also very memorable. So, Pacino. I'm not going into too much detail in terms of a synopsis because I figure I can do a little bit of that in the intro that I do, and then people can just go see the movie for lots of those details. But he's definitely the classic. Pacino is the classic curmudgeon, and he's sort of estranged himself or alienated himself from most of the people in his life. But he has his cat, who he loves, and he's a locksmith.
Yeah. And
the local bank teller has a crush on him, played by Holly Hunter. And I'm just sort of contradicting myself. I'm doing the synopsis anyway. So he was a former coach, though. He had done some coaching in his past, right? And so Harmony Korine plays this guy who loved Pacino and still kind of wants to, show him his love, right? And so that was kind of unique, good casting. Did Pacino know of Harmony Korine? Know what he's getting into at all? Did he, at the end of it, threaten you?
They're all friends now. I think Pacino's going to be in Harmony's new movie now.
Come on,
that's what the rumor is.
Really?
I don't know if that's public. Maybe.
It is now.
But it was the most fun between setups that you could have. Is like just listen to these guys like tell tales, and like Harmony's just got wonderful energy. I cast him because I saw a Q&A he did at South by Southwest for Spring Breakers, and I just thought that guy's electric. He's on fire. What's going on? And it really was like Pacino after the first take, he's like, who is this guy, Robin Williams? Because he just goes and goes and goes, you know, and and it's just really, really awesome having somebody that is capable of, you know, taking the cork out and just going nuts on a roll.
Yeah. Pacino caught up with he must have, I guess, caught up with a little bit of his.
Oh yeah.
Harmony.
No, I remember him. He watched Spring Breakers and then came back and told me all about it as if I hadn't seen it.
Well, he is an older guy, and that is the law. I think you have to tell stories, retell them. I think that's part of. I'm doing it already. Okay, so Manglehorn is going to be out in a couple of weeks, right? June 19th or something? I think it's June 19th.
I think so.
June 19th. And is it going on like digitally out too?
I think so.
I think so too. Now I can spend a couple of minutes because I'm curious. Always curious about what your next project is.
My next project, I'm just...
Or are you just winding down on something, aren't you?
Well, I'm winding down on a movie I did with Sandra Bullock about Bolivian politics called Our Brand is Crisis. It's
Our Brand is Crisis?
Yes. It was inspired by a documentary with the same title about a group of American political consultants in South America. And so we're finishing that movie up, and that's going really well. It's been a lot of fun working with Sandra Bullock and Billy Bob Thornton.
This is the new Oscar-winning Sandra Bullock? Did she win the Oscar? I can't remember.
She won for...
Did she win?
Blindside, I think. I don't think she won for Gravity.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I interrupted you.
Often nominated.
Nominated.
And most importantly, an awesome lady and a super great actress. So that was it's been a lot of fun traveling around and working with her.
Can I ask you, is this for hire? Or did you write this? You didn't write this.
I did not write it.
Seems a little bit.
British writer Peter Strawn wrote it. And it was something that it's Warner Brothers, and it's just a great opportunity to try to, for me, take some of my comedic impulse and put it in a serious-minded film. You know, kind of like an Argo did, I guess. Like there's a great wit to the characters.
Is there some satire there? Is that way?
But not in a spoofy way, but in a cultural commentary a little bit. And so it's just taking a group of unlikely Americans into a culture out of their element a little bit.
Okay.
But it's been a ton of fun. We're finishing that up, and then on Monday I start shooting a new Amazon series, and then in July I do a new HBO series. So I got a big summer ahead.
Wow, congratulations. Where are you shooting the Amazon?
All over. It's about a Jewish country club in the 80s. So, we're bouncing around.
No wasps need...
No wasps needed.
Apply. Can you take a couple... Do you mind taking a picture? Because if you don't mind.
Huh? Should I take my shirt off or leave it on?
Oh, please, I'll take mine off if you do. Thank you so much.
These people in my life standing here, they're waiting for a miracle.
Well, maybe this other woman, maybe she'll return. And maybe you'll remember how to love someone with more than an animal.
You don't know who I am! But none of them mean a thing to me.
I'm sorry.
Just making fun of me.
It'd be great if you could be a father.
So you know you're a son of a bitch.
Yes.
Why do you hate everyone?
You know, balloon belongs in the sky where it came from. So it gets lonely. I love you very much.
I love you too. Thank you for my lion.
See you next week.